In this lecture, I'll show you how to download and install Python. And I'll also show you how to install Python libraries. And if you don't know what Python libraries are, well, a Python library is like an extension that provides extra functionalities that are not installed with the default installation of Python. For instance, you may be interested in doing musical analysis with Python. By the way, musical analysis is not covered in this course. Anyway, if you wanted to do musical analysis using Python, you need to install an external library, because Python cannot have everything. That way it would get quite a heavy installation. So downloading and installing Python and libraries is the idea of this lecture. And the page you're seeing now is the official Python web page. And here you can download Python, read the Python documentation, talk to the Python community, etc. If you go to the download menu, you'll see many options where you can download Python. You can choose to download Python from here, but I would suggest you to actually download a Python bundle that does not contain Python only, but also contains an editor for Python, which is called Spider. An editor is some sort of interface where you write the Python code. And the bundle I'm talking about is called Anaconda. You can search on Google for that. And this is the official page of the Anaconda package, or bundle if you like. So they offer the package for the previous Python version 2.7, but also for the latest 3.4 version. And I'll grab the latest version, of course. I'm on Windows, so I want Python for Windows. The downloading has started, so this will take some time depending on your internet connection speed. And here I'm back, and here is the downloaded file. I'll go ahead and execute the file now. And before you do the same, I would recommend you to uninstall any existing Python installations that you might have. You might also keep two Pythons in your system if you like, but then when you install Python libraries, you might get confused about which of the Pythons you install the library for. So where did you install the library? Did you install it in the Anaconda Python or in the existing Python that you had? So to clear that confusion, you need to know how environment variables work. So you have to change the environment variables in your computer. Therefore, I would recommend you to uninstall your current Python and install this new one. Or you can even choose to keep your existing Python and not install the Anaconda package at all. But then you would need to install the Spider editor or other editors using alternative ways manually. So back to our Anaconda bundle now. Double click and then follow the installation wizard. So this is the path where Python and its libraries will be installed, and just leave these options checked as they are. And wait a while until the installation has finished. So the installation went smoothly on my side, and I'll click finish here, and that's it. If it went good on your side as well, you should be able now to access Python through your command line. So this is my command line in Windows, and if I type Python, the Python console will show up. And here is where we can write interactive Python code. Interactive means that you write and execute single lines of code. And this is great for testing code. For instance, let's find out the sum of 5 and 6. You type in the code and hit enter. And you get the result immediately. You can also write scripts of code in an editor and execute the entire script at once. But we will cover that issue later. So this here is the most simple Python console, and you can execute whatever Python code that you want in this console. However, for more efficiency, more advanced editors are recommended, and Spider is one of them. As I mentioned earlier, Spider was installed along Python via the Anaconda bundle, and you can find Spider among your computer programs. Here is mine, and I'm opening it now. I'll tell you more about Spider in another lecture, so for now I'll just mention a few things. So this here is the Python console, which is equivalent to the black symbol console I just showed you earlier. You can execute code here and promptly get the results. The good thing of Spider is that it also has an editor, which is this one here on the left. The editor is where you can write scripts of code and execute them at once. So that's what I wanted to tell you about Spider in this lecture. Now let me show you what else was installed with the Anaconda bundle. To get a list of everything that has been installed, just go to your terminal, your command line, and type conda list. And what you see is the list of features that has been installed with Anaconda. You can see Python among them, and Spider as well. As you see here, we also have other libraries that were installed with Anaconda, and they may serve for different purposes. These libraries are like extensions that you may want to use for performing spatial operations. For example, if you want to perform a musical analysis. Anyway, the musical analysis library is not here by default, so I'll teach you later how to install external libraries that are not included here. But here you have some other libraries. For example, we have NumPy here. NumPy is a library that allows you to perform numerical computations in Python. And to use these libraries in Python, to use the features of these libraries in Python, you have to import the library. For example, I'll go ahead and import the NumPy library now into the IPython console. So you go back to the Python console and write import NumPy. If you didn't get any error here, that means the library has been successfully imported and now you can use its features to make the program of your needs. If you're interested on any particular library that is not installed by default when you install Python, then I can show you the quickest way to install your desired library. Let's say you're interested on musical or audio analysis, and you have heard that a particular library called PCSets does the work. So PCSets is a real library that stands for pitch class sets, and it's used for musical analysis. Now to install the library, all you need to do is open your terminal and type pip install and the name of the library, which in this case is PCSets. And the library has been successfully installed. That's it. So the trick here is done by the pip library. So pip is yet another Python library that came installed by default with the Anaconda installation. What the library does is that it downloads the PCSets library from its online repositories, and then it installs the library in your computer, and that's it. You can go ahead now and import the PCSets library in Python to see if it's working good. So that's how to get libraries very quickly. And that's also what I wanted to teach you in this section. Hope everything went well on your side. If not, feel free to drop a question in the discussion section.